Yeah, I'm I know, I'm like a minute or so late. Sorry. Dragging a little ass. Not feeling the greatest. It is what it is. But I'm here. I'm here, everyone. And I have notes. It's like 3 pages of notes because I told myself I was going to do a little bit better job of covering MOA. And and yeah, I think I got a pretty good cohesive list of what we gonna talk about. So, with that being said, I hope y'all have seen what coverage there is out on MOA. If not, we're gonna go over it. But until then, let's get started with the tertiaries. We're at 912 subscribers. We lost one, which is sad and unfortunate, but we're still getting closer to that next goal of 1,000 subscribers, where we will do an unboxing battle, as they shall say, um, between to find out who does a better mystery box, the independent retailer or big box store. So let's get to 1,000 and hit the next goal so we can do that unboxing. Young one, it's good to see you. Uh, ha. Jason, good to see you, my friend. Um, so let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's see what else do we got for tertiaries. I don't think we got too much going on outside of make sure that you clicked on the pinned comment link below. Join the Discord if you have not already. Over there at Task Force Shrubbery, we talk about airsoft, nerdery, movies, and video game goodness over there as well. And all sorts of crazy stuff. Hang out with other weirdos like me. Have a good old time. Um, hmm. I don't think I have too much else on the docket. So we're just gonna roll into tonight's stuff, and apparently, it sounds like I might be losing my voice. Joy. mm. I didn't realize how kind of hoarse I sounded today. I haven't had to talk much. Okay. I don't know where to start. I have I guess I got like 3 pages of notes here. Um, I didn't get absolutely everything on these lists, on these 3 pages of things to cover tonight from what was shown off at MOA. I did get pretty much most of the info off of videos from Popular Airsoft. I should have done links down below. Apologies for not doing that, but uh, train of thought. But anyway, but Popular Airsoft, I got a lot of the videos. He was so far that's the only one that was like all of his videos were in English and not auto dubbed English. Because MOA does go on in Taiwan. And apparently this year there was not that, it didn't seem like there was that many um, American or English speaking YouTubers covering MOA this year, obviously, because of, money's a thing. I understand. But I'm glad that Popular Airsoft, thank you for getting coverage the way you did. Um, but yeah, like I said, this isn't everything. Um, there was a lot more. I just kind of covered the things that I thought were the most interesting or were the most new or wasn't like the repeat of the same thing over and over, even though we do kind of have the it feels like there's like everybody's got like a new high cap of this year, but that's almost every year. Um but we're gonna kind of run down the list. my brain just ceased after seeing that kind. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Um, wow. Okay, that was interessante. But anyway, so where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? I got so much to start with. You know what? I'm just gonna randomly pick a spot out of the pages of notes, and we're gonna talk about it. So before I get down, and if you don't know, if this is the first time you've heard of MOA and you've been around in the airsoft world, this is the first time you're hearing of it. MOA stands for Military Outdoor and Airsoft. It is an expo slash con, I guess you could say. But it's an expo in oh man, excuse me, in Taiwan. That goes on every year, and it's a big release deal for airsoft companies, because that's essentially what this expo is. This is just a big, what do you got coming out this next year, for stuff. But so MOA goes on in Taiwan. All the big manufacturers come out, show off all their new in up and coming stuff. Sometimes they have some new production, um, or pre-production models that they're showing off, or this is just in the design stages. So you can kind of see some really cool stuff at MOA. Um, but yeah, so it's a big deal in the world of airsoft. It's like the whole, how E3 used to be the thing for gaming to, what games are coming out this next year. This is like the airsoft version of that, of like, what's coming out this next year for airsoft stuff or within the next 2 years or so. So, like I said, this isn't absolutely everything. This is just a list of stuff that I thought was the most interesting. I didn't feel like the same thing, repeat, repeat, repeat. Now, last year, it was a lot of big stuff of like, new up and coming AEGs. This year feels a little different. But you'll see as we kind of roll through it, there's kind of a theme that's coming up. But we're going to start with something simple, something small. Ace Tech. Ace Tech is a company that that makes really good as well, which I think, for the cost of the speed loader they have, that they're selling, it it does not make sense. But anyway, Ace Tech does make really good tracer units. I have a brighter R that I use that's super awesome. I know a whole bunch of other people that have Bifrost and stuff like that. But Ace Tech, they make really good tracer units. And this year they showed off their new Quadra. I believe it's called the Quadra. Yeah, Quadra tracer. Made sure I said that correctly. Quadra tracer. It's a new it's a new pistol tracer. And it looks more like a compensator than it does like a out and out tracer. It actually has a little bit more of a sleek design, to fit in with your pistol replicas a lot better. And it comes in two styles. It comes in just a regular tracer, and then it comes in like a Bifrost version, so you can get all the muzzle flash color variations. And that should be coming out, I would have to say, pretty soon. Not all of these I have release dates or money or prices for. I just wrote down the things that I did have for information that I could get on these. But that tracer should be coming out like Q1 next year. So keep your eyes out if you're looking for a new tracer unit for your pistol replicas. That isn't like a small suppressor, but more like a compensator that actually fits with the design. Oh man. Since we're kind of on the tracer front, and there's not too much other info I have, I thought was pretty cool, was S&T, which is a airsoft replica manufacturer. They got a couple of new old World War II style replicas that they got coming about. of newer models of like MP40s and STG 44s, stuff like that. But the thing that I thought was really cool, um, they got an MG42 that they're coming out with a built-in tracer unit that's integrated with the original looking flash hider. Um, and you literally just screw off the flash hider. The tracer unit is inside of the barrel unit right there at the end, and you don't have to mess with the look of your MG42, but you still have a tracer in it. Um, I thought that was really cool from S&T. Um, Now let's start getting into some really cool stuff. Um, Max Tac, which is they're an airsoft company of sorts. I don't. They make a lot of. I want to say it's more part support for like high kappas and stuff, and gas blowback things. But the thing that they're working on, there was no. I didn't see a release date or pricing for this, but they call it their SureFlow system, which is a magazine system that allows you to utilize CO2 in a regulated power format. So you could run like a Tokyo Marui high kappa on CO2 instead of green gas or duster. Now the SureFlow system works at either an 8 gram or 12 gram power output. So essentially you're at Tokyo Marui levels or you're at like US level spec for power outputs on the SureFlow system, um, which is really cool. And then you can utilize CO2 instead of green gas, which for people who live in colder climates, that's super awesome. That there is now like you could actually use CO2 in a green gas pistol without blowing it up. But currently, the one models, the current magazines that they do have available, I want to say, or will be available first, because they didn't specify release dates if they're out, where you can get them, anything like that, if you can. But the only current ones they have right now are for high kappas and Glocks. It takes a 12 gram CO2 cartridge, or you can fill from an external CO2 bottle, which is pretty cool. Um, they test it, they guarantee because CO2 mags usually leak. No, apparently you can leave the gas in these ones, and it'll be fine. You won't have any problems. Also, with their SureFlow magazine system, it helps mitigate with cooldown, so you don't get the freeze off effect as well, or damage to your bucking because of that. Um, so something to look into. I'm guessing for Max Tac with this CO2 mag, it's not going to be cheap. Uh, for a high cap or a Glock, this magazine is probably going to run. I want to say in the realm of like $60, 50, $60 solid at least. But to have the availability to run CO2 in a green gas supported replica system is actually pretty cool. Just because of the weather constraints that green gas puts us under. And it's not just saying like, me, but like people that do have colder climate setups. Um Prime Tech. Yes, I did see the SKS. Um the only thing that I have the reason why I didn't put the SKS on the list is it's electric. I honestly want that thing gas blowback. That's just or some sort of gas variant. I do not want that thing electric. The way that the magazine looks on the SKS just you gotta drop it down and it's old big gaudy white thing. I hope they do something with that to make it look less not. I don't know. Like it's cool that they got the SKS finally, but I I'm waiting and seeing. I know that these are like early production models that they're showing off at the show. But that MaxTac magazine, SureFlow system, really, really cool. They did honestly should have been gas blowback. I'm glad you agree with me, Primetech. I'm glad you agree. I'm glad somebody does. Um, but MaxTac with that SureFlow magazine design system for CO2, they're also actually working on designs for an extended Glock magazine and MWS M4 magazines, which they said would be like more in the Stanag style, which I think also pretty cool. Pretty cool. But that MaxTac CO, I would really like to try one out. Um, I would really I as much as I wouldn't want to like put any of my stuff at risk. Um, I trust the product, I guess. I would put my faith in the product. But I would really like to trust the try out the Max Tech. I do have I don't have anything that would take Glock mags, but I got stuff that'll take high kappa mags. So I mean unless no, CCP09 mags won't no. No, it's close to Glock, but not. And 226 definitely doesn't take Glock mags. So yeah, no, but I do have the Terran Tactical Pit Viper that takes high kappas. And then there's obviously the CO2 1911 takes CO2 1911 mags. But yeah, I could test out their high kappa one at least. Announcement coming at the end of the episode regarding the Glock word. I've seen one in person. It was close proximity to firing. Took the air out of my lungs. But yeah, the Max Tac things look pretty cool. I'm just gonna. Is this the last page that I'm on? Yeah, I'm on the last page. So we're gonna finish hopping around on the last page, and then I'm gonna pick another page, and then we're gonna go from there. I think there's one that I want to. We might just work backwards. Who knows? We're rolling through my oodles and notes here. So okay, we tapped on S&T, we tapped on Ace Tech, we got through Max Tech. All right, let's get into one of the things that kind of made my brain go that I think might be a big discussion. Now, I'm feeling a lot of this year was a kind of a big year for high kappa stuff. There was a lot of high kappa release things, a lot more pistol release things. And frankly, a lot more gas blowback stuff. But let's do this. Quad for UAD quad. Quad production, quad design. The company that makes the bright orange buckings, right? And they do silicone oils and stuff like that, and they make nice little intricate, high tech designed internal pieces for stuff. So you guys know who I'm talking about. They have a new hop up system for high kappas and 1911s called the Magnus for 2011s and 1911 hop up systems. It's a top dead center hop up system. I highly encourage you guys look this up. So for most of you who are into either high kappas or you actually do tech work and you or a bit of just basic maintenance and you've taken your airsoft replicas apart in the sidearm variety, and so there's a couple things that I would urge you to pay attention to when you do your basic maintenance and you're doing disassembly and stuff is pay attention to how loose your bucking and inner barrel system is compared to your outer barrel, and then how much play there is with your hop up to the lower frame, because there is a bar in the lower frame that your hop up links into to help mitigate movement, and there's still usually a bit of movement there. Now, imagine if you could take all of that movement out, because all of that little bit of movement up and down, that little bit of wiggle between the inner barrel, outer barrel, and the frame, this whole, every time you utilize your replica, this could go whichever way. Um, and your shots can curve to the right, your shots can curve to the left, up, down, whatever. Now with this Magnus hop-up system, uh, you can mitigate that to nothing. Because what it does is it has a system where you could adjust up, down angle, pitch, yaw, you know, all of the little fine tunings, and then you can lock it. Not so much locked in because you can still remove it, but it's essentially pinching in that lower frame rail system where the hop up locks in, so it doesn't move at all, which is awesome. Um, a lot of and they're not the only company that TNT's new hop up that they're coming out with also kind of has something like that, except for not as deep as for UADs. Um, like they TNT, they have a different adapters where it's a different pinch system on the bottom of the hop up where it goes into the frame, so there is pinch retention and it helps mitigate wiggle. Um, so that is something that they're getting into, and I've noticed a lot of barrel stability in the hop up world is or in the high kappa world is the new norm, which is awesome because that means that your sidearm accuracy is going to go up, which is cool. But that locking it to the lower, that's really cool. I'm guessing this hop up system from 4UAD is going to be out very, very soon. They're advertising it like crazy before even MOA happened. I saw a whole bunch of videos for it. And it's top, and you can adjust the hop up on this Magnus system without taking your slide off of your sidearm replica at all. You literally just need a 2mm hex and pull open the slide, lock it open, put that in, and you can adjust the hop up from there. Yes, you do need a tool, but you don't have to take it apart. That's a win. Not having to take apart to just hop up is awesome. Those of you that have replicas where you have to take them apart to adjust the hop up, you understand, especially in the sidearm world. That's pretty much all of them. You have to take it apart somewhere, except for there's a couple of them where there's an exterior hop up adjustment, but usually either requires a tool or just finicky. But yeah, I'll take that any day. Also with the TNT hop up system, like I said, they're similar to the Magnus where they got different pinch retention to change so you can actually lock it into place. They also have a tool that comes with the hop up, so you can make hop up adjustments without taking apart your replica as well. But yeah, that Magnus from 4UAD, super awesome. I'm actually kind of thinking about it because eventually I'm soon to be hopefully hopping into the real high kappa world soon myself. So it's something I'm thinking about. And moving on past the Magnus. Now, I'm going to talk about a company that some of you are going to just be like, but Squirrel, you don't have HPA and you don't really like HPA and you kind of stay away from HPA. It's not that I don't like HPA, it's just too expensive and I don't want a scuba tank. But Mech Labs. They revealed their new Xmod engine, which is all mechanical, has semi and full auto, no electronics. Cool. Awesome. I don't know much past that I can really explain. They got some regulators that have a degassing valve on it, so you have no problems removing your tanks, which is super cool, I guess. But this is the thing about Mech Labs that kind of got my interest is They have a new hop-up unit that they designed that they're coming out with that has no bucking in it. A buckless hop-up. Now I understand how it works after they explained it and you watch the video. I get it. It's interesting. Instead of have a instead of you having a bucking that goes over the end of your barrel that goes into the hop up unit to help with that backspin on the BB, it just has you just have a lock for the barrel inside of the hop up, and then there's a piston that comes down that has a little rubber nub on it. That I guess goes through the window, um, and just adjusts without a bucket. I'm interested to see how that works. I'm interested to see the air seal with those. I there's the side of my brain that says it kind of has its own built-in bucking, more than likely of sorts. Um, but it's a cool concept. It is one little small expense that you could remove if it works. And Mech Labs is more of an HPA part company, but that new hop-up system is supposed to work in AEGs as well, from what I have been picking up. So when it comes out, it's called the Roto Hop-Up from Mech Labs. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. I know I am. I'm just curious. I'm curious. And if it doesn't work in AEGs, then I guess I will have a part to sell for HPA players that I know will sell. So, yeah. We'll see when it comes up. We'll see. If not, you guys can go look this stuff up yourself. Anything that I'm telling you, honestly, quickest, easiest way to see any of the videos that explain this stuff if you want to see it. Some of the English is broken and a little hard to understand, but it is what it is. Just type in MOA 2025 in YouTube on search, or go to Popular Airsoft on YouTube and look at his videos. He's like I said, so far he's the only one that I see that has actually a lot of actual English speaking content that's not auto dubbed. And like it goes on in Taiwan. There's not a lot of people that traveled there this year from the States. BZ Tactical, or BZ Tactical. They also got some coverage on MOA. They're a UK airsoft retailer, but they did get some stuff. So that's another one you can check. This one, this page only has 3 different manufacturers on it, but they're ones that everybody knows. And I think for one of them, they did kind of have a list that's pretty good on awesome releases, just like one right after the other. So I'm just gonna roll down top to bottom on this one. Maple Leaf. Everybody knows Maple Leaf. They make buckings and other airsoft parts on the innard side. But the thing that caught my eye that they were coming out with, like, they have a new recoil spring system for PDW stocks for gas blowback things. That's cool. Like that's as much as I'm going to get into that, because that's about all I really paid attention on that side. They just kind of threw my brain for a loop when they said they were coming out with a universal muzzle adapter. But Maple Leaf is coming out with a universal muzzle adapter. So you could essentially attach any mock suppressor, any tracer unit, chrono device, anything that would go on 14 millimeter counterclockwise threads. You can affix to whatever, because it's literally just like a flash hider adapter, an adapter on that goes on the replica, and then another adapter piece that goes on your tracer unit or mock suppressor or whatever. And then you can just fit it on whatever. I personally, if more chronos were being used in the case of but that would require everybody to have that muscle device. Yeah, it works and doesn't work. Like in my brain, I think it's an interesting piece. But I think what was most interesting about their universal muzzle adapter is apparently they came up with something. I don't know if this actually works or not. Maple Leaf, please tell me if this thing actually works. Or somebody find out if this thing actually works. But they did a prototype of a 40 millimeter grenade attachment for this universal muzzle adapter. So you could turn your pistol replica into a grenade launcher replica, literally, by just putting a 40 shell at the end of a pistol. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to know if it actually works because I think it would be fun. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, back in the day in World War II, way back when, there was that for the M1 Grand, a legit functioning system, but it wasn't like that. But it was. I don't know. I want to know if it worked. But the universal muzzle adapter. So if you wanted to change out tracers or mock suppressors or chrono devices or anything that would fit on the end of a barrel of a replica, that's a cool thing for Maple Leaf. Um, that's pretty much all they had on that one. But now we're going to move down the list a little bit further. We're getting into VFC. Everybody knows VFC, Vega Force Company. They make a lot of high-end replicas. Like I have a 416 that has a VFC gearbox in it. No, my MP5 was not spec'd out by VFC. I wish it was, but it would have made it more expensive. But they make all sorts of great replicas. They that are more on the high quality end, and they do make a lot of gas blowbacks as well. They're actually the number 2 in the airsoft world for gas blowbacks. It's either a lot of people it's TM or VFC. Those are the only 2 options, and those are the ones that are neck and neck. They are 2 different gas systems, but it's TM or VFC. So VFC is coming out with a new, and as of MOA, the show releasing last weekend, this is already out. So this is apparently already out. You can go buy it. I bet it's going to be expensive. I haven't found it anywhere in the States yet because I don't think it's released in the States. It's probably out in Asia and Europe. Actually, 6mm Badger just put up a video of him unboxing one of these. So he's got one, but it's the AVS 74U by VFC. It's a gas blowback 74U, full steel and real wood, 100% full steel and real wood. 1-to-1 spec with real steel counterpart. So literally 100% compatibility across the board. So if you want to do Zenico furniture, anything like that, or Magpul parts or anything like that, it will work on this 74U gas blowback replica. One thing that I thought was really cool also when it comes to gas blowbacks is a lot of the hop-up systems require a tool of some kind or disassembly to get to. Well, this one actually is just like the AEG variety. It looks like just a basic rotary hop-up. You just open the bolt and you just turn it. And it's a TDC style hop-up system in this 74U, which is, I mean, honestly, VFC was selling me on the 74U gas blowback when it's just like, yeah, it's got a top dead center, toolless hop-up adjustment. Okay, cool. And it's 1-to-1 spec. It's all steel. It's all real wood. Okay. What else? What else, VFC? What else, VFC? Can you tell me about your new, AVS 74U gas blowback that would, You sell me on it some further. Oh yeah, when it's unsafe, you can't pull the bolt back like the real thing. Oh yeah, that's cool. Cool functions. Cool functions. What else? Oh yeah, there's a removable buffer um, in the recoil spring section, and if you take that buffer out, it increases recoil and drops the rounds per second fire rate to the equivalent of the real deal. Okay. Well, the recoil probably won't be the equivalent, but it's heavier recoil and the rate of fire is equivalent. Okay, cool. How much is it? I don't know. It's out now. So if you have the coinage, I'm betting it's from VFC and with all of those little features I mentioned on this 74U, um, I'm betting it's probably in the realm of like 650 easy. VFC gas blowback stuff usually is not cheap at all. It has been on the more pricey side, but of what I saw of that 74U, it is real pretty. It also comes in the classic, and they do have a couple other styles of it being more modernized. So there is options. Now, how many times am I going to mention high cap in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, plus I have already. All right. So now we're getting into all the different companies and different high caps coming out. And in some gas blowback replica worlds. So we got the essential technicals out of the way first. And before I continue, might as well stop at this moment and just ask the question. And if you watch stuff on MOA, I know there's some other stuff in foreign languages or dubbed versions that's out there, but any of you guys look into some stuff? I know I was talking with Cutter over the weekend about stuff that was coming out for videos, stuff we were seeing. But any of you guys, Prime Tech, obviously you watch some stuff on MOA. But anybody else out there watch anything on MOA? Let me know. Anything catch your eye? Anything in specific that I didn't cover on this that you thought was really cool? Let me know. This is starting to hurt the throat. A lot of talking. So, next on the list. LCT, an airsoft replica company that is known for electric blowback and AEG replicas that are highly accurate to the Ruski side of the Eastern Bloc of replicas. But they're slowly, they did make the announcement that they are soon entering HPA and the gas blowback world. With their AK line of replicas and all of their usual stuff, they are slowly working into soon to be releasing HPA and gas blowback stuff, which is super awesome because LCT is known for their accuracy and super clean, tight replica builds. Most of it, like again, the stuff is like usually 1-to-1 with the real steels for replica compatibility. So a lot of LCTs can take Xenico parts and stuff or Magpul. You know, if you wanted to put the real steel components on to customize your replica. But with that being said, their step into the gas blowback world is going to first be with their first high kappa. It is called the PTK1. I want to say it looks like the lower is like your standard high kappa style lower. It's their upper that's changed and is different. They are going with a split slide design, so it's more of a race pistol style thing. Faster shots. You just it looks like it's kind of geared towards the speed soft side of things a little bit, but It is a split slide design with the PTK1. It does have a top dead center hop up, which is a noticeable improvement that I'm seeing across the board. Of everybody is starting to push to have TDC hop ups in, because airsofters ourselves are making that the standard for accuracy. It really is. Top dead center, it really gives a nice flush backspin off the BB all the way through the bucking surface on the way out of the airsoft replica. Um, but yes, with this PTK1, um, that TDC hop up unit also, it has a hop up adjustment right on the top of the slide. It literally is right there at the top of the slide. So right before the actual split slide section, right above where the hop up is, there is a hop up wheel on the exterior of the replica, so you can change your hop up on the fly with no tools on this high kappa, which cool. If you want that, it is a nifty tool. Toolless hop up adjustment is always nice. I'm not gonna knock it. For me, it's not my style, but if I had one, it'd be nice to have, just to change that on the fly without having to either take the slide off or get a tool out to adjust the hop up. Um, it also has an RMR plate. Since it's a split slide design, most split slides have an RMR plate right on the front half of the slide assembly, because that is where it doesn't move, and that's where they mount the red dots on those high kappas. So that's a pretty cool thing that LCT is finally doing. Good on you, LCT, for finally getting in to the gas blowback and HPA game. Starting with the high kappa is a nice step, because I know you're probably taking your time designing the guts and the innards of your LCT. Personally, I hope LCT goes MWS with their innards. That's just me. But we'll see. We'll see. Uh, they also, LCT is, we're getting into a couple of replicas that they're coming out with as well, um, in their electric series. They got the TP5, which is their MP5 design, that they got coming out again. From what I understand, they used to release ones a while ago, but they went back to the MP5A2 style on these. It does come in AEG and electric blowback, the EBB. Um, but it is an LCT MP5 design, so it should be 1-to-1 to an HK. It's going to have a little bit of the HK look, but not the actual trades. They look really clean. They look really good. And also with these MP5s, in anybody who has an MP5 knows that MP5 has its own specific hop up system, and LCT has designed a new hop up for these that is a top dead center design hop up. So again, pattern was kind of being seen with top dead center. Um, I honestly, if LCTs weren't so damn expensive, I'd sell you flat out the gate that I'd be getting one. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Oh man. And now, the piece de resistance from the LCT lineup of releases that they got coming out. Unfortunately, none of these things they had release dates for, except for 2026 sometime, more than likely. Um, so bear with me on the lack of release dates and pricing. But they have a new AK coming out. They call it the AK 2.0. So LCT is redesigned their standard AEG AK a bit on the performance side. So the AK 2.0 is actually been resized to 1-to-1 scale accurate to the real steel variant, which means the gearbox on the inside has been completely redesigned. Yes, it looks like a version 3 gearbox, but it's not a version 3 gearbox. It is different. But with the AK 2.0, with these different design gearbox, the different size, because it's 1-to-1 now, there are things that they did to it. I did notice on their spec sheet that it does have a 6.03 inner barrel included, which is awesome. Quick change spring system in the AK 2.0. Um, Nozzle, piston head, cylinder head, all CNC aluminum out of the box. Um, Brushless motor and equipped with a Titan Gate Aster 2. Um, Out of the box. This AK 2.0 from LCT not only I think is going to be a win of a purchase if you want something pre-upgraded, preset, like just done to the nines out of the box. This AK 2.0 from LCT sounds like it's going to scratch that itch. Be prepared for a hefty price tag for those things, but I think the AK 2.0 is going to be a game changer for the AK lineup in Airsoft on being able to um, probably save a lot of money out of the box in just getting a pre-upgraded with a brushless motor, Gate Aster 2, 6.03 inner barrel, a CNC aluminum nozzle, cylinder head, piston head, and all the bells and whistles. Super cool, but it's LCT, so it's probably going to be like $600. But besides that point, a pre-upgraded AK out of the box, super awesome. Win. Good job, LCT. I've always wanted an LCT, but now I really even more want an LCT. We have reached the last page. We have 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes to get through this last page. So I'm going to work from bottom up because we're going to end on what I thought was my favorite so far. On the last two things, honestly, are my favorite of what was announced, minus that Magnus hop up. Prime Tech. I am a little disappointed LT didn't show off the internals of their gas blowback replicas, just to boast that they didn't cut corners on the lower cost MWS Z system clone. I agree, and honestly, Prime Tech, you're the first one to say it. I didn't see Lancer tactical stuff from MOA, unfortunately. I didn't really see much coverage from MOA for Lancer Tactical at all, and I do wish that they would have showed off their guts. Little sad, little sad. Either the stuff that I found for MOA coverage did just nobody went to Lancer Tactical, or they weren't there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they were there, but I didn't see anything for Lancer Tactical from anything about MOA coverage that I saw. So, yeah, I agree. Disappointed. But we'll see. SHOT Show still coming up. So we will see. I still want to know because I got one of those coming. Mark the MGC4 Mark IV gas blowback replicas are Lancer Tactical SLRs, SLR licensed ones. So I do want to see the innards of that to make sure that it's not the lower cost one. I do plan on throwing money into this already, but it is what it is. Anyway, moving on. Guns modify. They're coming out. They got a whole bunch of new innard parts and stuff that's already out. 2-stage trigger for MWS, hop-up unit, a new Stanag style steel mag. You know, that stuff. That's all already out. Things that are coming out soon in 2026 from Modify. They have a new Kappa called the high Kappa called the Tyrant. Comes in 3 different lengths, a 4, a 5.1, and 6-inch. That 6-inch one actually looks really, really clean. Aluminum slide and frame. So slide and frame is all made of aluminum, which is really cool. All steel trigger components inside of the Tyrant Modify, and in the other high cap that they got coming out, all steel trigger components as well. It's Modify. They do all the good. They got all the really nice upgrade parts for your MWS systems to be more robust, more reliable, and not TM Japanese spec. You know, they help bring spec up to where it should be when it's over here in the States. Um, but yeah, they're high kappas, and then they have the Trinity X high kappas coming out, which have a little bit different design from the Tyrants, and come with the full auto fun switch. um, but yeah, so modified didn't have a whole lot, but they did have a cool couple of things. Now, I don't know how many of you are fans of the Evo. I like me and Evo. I think they look cool. They're nice little PDW replicas. Um, but Evos are really cool, and apparently they were really popular and then fell off a bit. But from Hassan, they're working with EMG. They have the licensing through EMG and Strike Industries. They're coming out with an Evo gas blowback replica, which is super cool. I think it's awesome that the Evo's kind of they're trying to push the Evo back out, and since it's Strike Industries, it does have a little bit of a more mod. Like the Evo kind of had a futuristic look before. It's a little bit more futuristic looking now with the Strike Industries furniture on it. I think it looks pretty slick. I would really love to get my hands on one. Um, but the only thing I know about it is the Evo is coming back in gas blowback form from EMG and Strike Industries, and it's going to be out sometime next year, um, Q3, Q4 time frame. So later in the year, it'll be coming back out. But I think that is going to make waves in the airsoft world because everybody kind of did that with the Vector when the Vector kind of became a big thing, and it still is a big thing of, it just looks different. So everybody's just like, it's the, oh, look at that. And Evo's always been that, but they've never really had a gas blowback that I know of. So Evo coming out with gas blowback, super cool. Um, Next thing. Now, before the final two things, guys. One, I hope y'all are gonna smash that like button. Let me know that you guys like how I've kind of. I wish I took more screenshots and pictures of things, but I said at the beginning of this, I don't feel that great. You can hear it in my voice. Squirrely's got the sickness going on. I didn't have the patience on everything I had to deal with today to get all the screenshots of the pretty things that I wanted to do for this. But I hope I am covering MOA a lot better than I have in the past. I feel I am doing a lot better. Um, so, but I hope you guys also saw MOA coverage too, and you're excited for the things coming out in Airsoft in the next year. Because a lot of things from MOA are either out or coming out soon or late next year. So it's been pretty cool. Next thing coming up on the list. Now, this is a company that I did not expect to come out with an MWS clone system, but Classic Army. Classic Army is known for having replicas that are really good knockoffs that sometimes get in trouble with manufacturers. Classic Army does really good replicas. They have really solid gearboxes. They really do. Classic Army is a reliable, good replica. Cannot complain about them at all. Dude, your autocorrect is making your typing terrible, Ghost. But Classic Army is coming out with a gas blowback MWS system. They said it's coming out in January. So January, Classic Army is dropping MWS system, gas blowback replica. What they were showing, the model that they were showing off looks like it comes in a 10-inch rail configuration with the Delta stock. Standard. Looks like it's blank. Like no etching. There might be some stampage somewhere on there of a name, but it looked blank. Could have just been a placeholder model, which is more likely. But with the Classic Army, sometimes Classic Army is known also for cutting little corners when they're budget friendly approaches, like putting a skirmish inside of an all polymer body It's a little on the loose side. I had that with one of my classic army replicas that I had come through the house, the tree house, I should say. But with this MWS replica that they got coming out, it's an all aluminum upper, all aluminum lower. So they're not skimping on it. I am really curious to what Classic Army is going to come out with. Um, it could be sharing the manufacturer with Lancer Tactical, Prime Tech, who knows? But it's an aluminum upper and aluminum lower. I want to say the dude had more to say about it, but he didn't speak that. He didn't speak English that well. Um, he did say also that the Classic Army MWS replica will be 99% compatible with TM. 99% compatible with TM. So they essentially like cloned the living schnitzels out of the MWS system. That one, I bet they did go with the cheaper clone MWS Z system or the Z of the cheaper variety. Yeah, I bet they did. But at the same time, the fact that they went MWS is a good thing because that just means that there's part support out there. You can buy replacement parts for it and it's going to work. So good on you, Classic Army, for finally getting into the gas blowback game. I don't know what the price is. They didn't say. I am really curious to what Classic Army is going to be offering for an MWS. Because now that all of these manufacturers have finally hopped on the gas blowback train and really trying to, it really feels like gas blowback is becoming the new standard for Airsoft. It already is pretty much everywhere else in the world. And finally, I guess the US, it's finally here that we're going to have enough manufacturers to make more price options for gas blowback, which is awesome. But Classic Army, I'm interested. I am very interested. Considering I'm now just waiting for my first MWS gas blowback replica to show up in April, which sucks. I hate waiting on pre-orders. But now that I'm getting into it, I'm interested in other companies coming out with this stuff. So, Lancer, I trust. Classic Army, I want to see. I want to put my hands on it. I want to take it apart. I want to look at the quality. I want to dive into the like Classic Army. There's one I might want to buy one just to be like, even if it's cheap, just be like, this is now the new MWS project. Like, I want to see where it is. So Classic Army, I'm interested. And you know what? If you see this Classic Army, I am like so interested to the point of get a hold of me, work with me. I really would like to get my hands on one of your MWSs, run it through its paces, and see what I can do to it, and see how compatible it is. I'm severely curious to your MWS system. Severely curious. Like, I'd even pay you for it. You could send me a pre-production, like that type of thing. I'll still buy it from you, but send it to me before anybody else. That type of thing. Like that's how much of a review I want to get on a Classic Army MWS. Because I've seen good Classic Armies internally, externally. I've seen bad Classic Armies internally, externally. So I want to see their gas blowback. I think it's best that the interviews are done in languages and then translated than the speaker trying to speak English. Now, here's the thing. I agree and I disagree because they have people that are obviously trained to speak English. They do have people that are there specifically for English speaking interactions. I do agree that natively they should speak in their native language and it should be translated over. But here's the thing. I watched a lot of auto dubbed ones through YouTube and someone posted it to YouTube and the translations were still wrong or didn't make sense. So it is what it is, man. Translation issues are always going to happen. But let's get into the last part. we're on the final subject of my 3-page note run of what went down at MOA 2025. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Become a tree dweller and stay regular here. Come back for more airsoft goodness on the regular. But we're gonna end with Arcturus. I like me Arcturus. I like Arcturus as a company. I like their replicas. I like Arcturus. I like their parts too. Arcturus just this year released their first high cap of the Vanguard, and it's done great. I hear nothing but great things. The Arcturus Vanguard is also compatible with TM across the board. There's only a couple of parts here and there that don't work or would require modification to work in the Arcturus Vanguard. But Arcturus is coming out with 2 more high kappas. And this is the one that I got, I think, a lot more info on. So with the LCT is coming out with the PTK1 with the split side system. Arcturus is coming out with a high kappa called the Osprey. Yeah, Cutter, we need to talk. You need to do better research on your copyright-free music, because that video was good, music was terrible. But yeah, copyright-free music. There's one I got a reference for you to use next time. So I'm gonna be on Discord for a little bit after this. Hop in there. I'll shoot you a better music source. But anyway, so Arcturus is coming out with the Osprey speed pistol design, split slide, high kappa. It's completely compatible with the Vanguard, so if you want to take it from a split slide to a solid slide, sure can. Toolless hop-up design with that split slide on the Osprey. Again, like the PTK1, it has a dial right at the top of right before the split and the slide, so you can adjust the top dead center hop-up system in the Osprey. There is also a performance version that you can buy, and the performance version comes with a CNC blowback housing out of the box to reduce weight. Which is really cool. But in that performance version with the CNC blowback housing, you can adjust the recoil with a gas cutoff that's in it, and you can sit there and adjust the recoil. So if you want it to hit a little bit harder, you can. If you want it to hit a little bit lighter, you can. You just do a little bit of adjustment in the gas block cutoff, and you're good to go. For the Osprey, there's 2 different models for it. There's the normal one that's just got the basic stuff in it. It's about 200-ish bucks. The performance line is going to be about 230-ish, somewhere in that range. Will be out Q1, Q2 of 2026. Super cool. And the other high kappa that Arcturus is coming out with is called the Tempest. It is a 4-inch high kappa. It's got a fixed compensator on it. Now, when I mean a fixed compensator, I mean fixed. Like even the barrel is locked into place, so that thing doesn't move at all. And the Arcturus Vanguard already has an internal hex barrel system, so it locks the hop-up unit into the outer barrel system so it doesn't move. And now the outer barrel is locked into the compensator, which is fixed to the lower frame of the pistol replica. So you ain't moving at all. We were talking about how that Magnus just locks everything into place so you don't have movement. And now Arcturus is coming out with a high kappa where everything's already locked down. And it's top dead center hop-up unit. I was going to buy a Vanguard. I kind of want a Tempest now. Which one out of the box for me is going to be the better option is more of the choice. That's where it's coming across. But with the new Tempest high cap got coming out with. They also came out with suppressor height sights that are obviously you can use it across all the high cap lines that Arcturus comes out with, as well as they got new optic plates that are coming out for their high kappa line, so you can actually do absolutely any style of red dot optic for your sidearm replica high kappa at all. Period. Like they essentially like have every adapter plate possible, bolt configuration for any type of optic to put on your sidearm replica, which is awesome. Did I talk about the Kazuna Works Basilisk? No, I didn't. No, I did not. I felt like the list of high kappa stuff was already enough. Yeah, but Kazuna Works is coming out with another one. This year, in closing of the things I got for MOA, since you mentioned that, I feel that this was the year for high kappas and gas blowbacks. There wasn't that much talk of innovation or new things for AEGs that I saw, and I don't know what else they can do. Outside of just putting all the high end stuff in a replica out the box, I don't know what else they could do with AEGs right now. I really don't. Um, but no, it felt like this was the year for innovation with gas blowback and high kappas. It really felt like it was it seems to me the push to make everything gas blowback or to make gas blowback the main thing is really the focus in the whole of the industry of everybody needs their own gas blowback to make gas blowback more readily available and option. Um, Basilisk, High Kappa, and Glock Max. Ah, yeah, yeah. You could use either or, which is cool. I mean, High Kappa mags are cheaper. That's where I sit. Um, but yeah, the Basilisk, like Prime Tech just put in the chat, you could use High Kappa and Glock mags, which is really cool. Which is really cool of the Basilisk. But yeah, I felt like the High Kappa list on my list of things was extensive. But yeah, there was a lot of high kappas at MOA. There's a lot of gas blowback replicas coming out, and which I like to see. And now that I'm slowly getting into the gas blowback world, I'm totally down for it. I'm here for it, and I hope everybody else is excited for it. Um, that's pretty much what I got from MOA 2025 this year. We're gonna kind of keep our eyes peeled, see what other news and info comes out over the next few days and weeks until we lead into 2026. But I told you guys about halfway through this that I wish there was more people in here to get a better reaction out of this. But I mentioned Glocks earlier, and I said there was an announcement coming at the end of this regarding Glocks. Are you guys ready for this? I hope you are. Hold on, sit down, make sure you're seated so you don't faint, pass out, or do anything like this. Squirrely's thinking about actually getting a Glock. With as much as I am diving into gas blowback, there are certain adjustments and systems within Glock systems that are a little bit different than some of the stuff that I have. Some of the stuff that I have is also what I can find out is partial Glock make. So I feel that if I get my hands on a Glock for educational purposes, I will be better rounded as teching on gas blowback replicas for sidearms. It's a high kappa that uses Glock mags. Oh. Thank you for the correction, Prime Tech. But yes, you guys heard it here first. Squirrely's thinking about actually purchasing a Glock replica. Oh, God. My brain hurts just thinking about that. Yeah, it might actually happen. It might actually happen. Fortunately, I know which ones I actually like, so I'm not betraying you, Ghost. I am not betraying you. I am not betraying you. One for educational purposes is not betraying. I'm not going to use it on the regular. It's going to be something that essentially sits around as a backup because everybody also uses Glocks. It is what it is. I'm using it as if I want to take it apart to understand it better so I know how to tack them, I need one. Yes, it's icky. I know. I know. I don't like it. When I finally came across the realization that it is something that must happen, I kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit. But I can deal with one. One, it's going to be a Gen 5. I'm going to tell you that these are the stipulations of this purchase. If I'm going to do this, it's going to be a Gen 5. Period. Mm. There must be a parallel world colliding with ours, and I hear that right. Yes. Yes, you did, Prime Tech. Yes, you did. When it's going to happen, I don't know. I'm not rushing to make this happen. Not at all. But I tell you what, when I'm done doing whatever to it, it's going to work smooth. It's going to be accurate. But it's going down. It's going to happen eventually. I will own one. I will buy one. I'm not going Sith, Jason. I'm already there. But one, it will happen eventually. And trust me, I know the day that it happens, Frizz going to lose their mind because of my stance on Glocks. I always heard Body Snatchers going to happen, but to this day, I'd never believe it. Oh, nobody's snatched. No, I've not been replaced by a pod person. No. The education brain went with, if I must learn it, I must learn it all. My boy is lost. I'm not lost. Hey. Okay. So everybody who's panicking right now. One, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath in, deep breath out, guys. Take deep breath in, deep breath out. Let me explain it to you this way. When Luke was learning the Force in his journey, when he figured out that to learn all aspects of the Force, he had to go to the dark side. And he did and came back. That is what I am doing with this decision. Like I said, it's not going to happen quickly, but this is my Luke going dark moment. It's yeah, like I said, not rushing into it, but it'll happen. It'll happen. I might even just buy one off a hop up, make it used, so it gives me a reason to buy parts for it. Saying it out loud just doesn't make it better, but it will happen eventually, guys. It's all part of the plan. Don't do it. It's all part of the plan. Guys, just one. That's all I'm saying. Just one. I might even do my best to make it not look so Glockish by the time I'm done with it. And you know what? Just since we're, just got a few of us here. It always starts with one. No. It's gonna start and end with one on that one. I'm even going to call it the TD door. Because I have always said that Glocks are best meant to be thrown, and if you guys play Borderlands, you know that TD doors are manufactured in Borderlands where you throw them to reload them. So yeah, it's gonna get called the TD door. I'm not even gonna come up with like it's just getting a manufacturer name for it. Glocks are now TD doors. That is what's going on with it. So, but that will happen eventually, guys. Not now, not next week, but eventually later, sometime down the road. I might even do a mystery box from Team Shadow Airsoft for that one. So TSA, if you're watching, you heard it here first, or you might hear it from somebody else first, because this is gonna spread rumors on wildfire on Discord. In fact, I guarantee Thursday on Airsoft GI's Discord, somebody's gonna say that I'm going to. Yeah, no, this is gonna be a discussion for a while. But anyway, guys, I think that's where we're gonna close out. We're gonna end it there. I'm gonna hop on Discord for a little bit, and then I need to go to bed because I gotta work in the morning, and yeah, I feel like shit. So, no game stream on Monday. We're skipping. Also, Council of Airsoft Dudes on the 17th, and everybody who's here, pay attention. I'm specifically going to get people off of Discord. I want team members and people off of Discord for this one. We're doing a holiday get together, Council of Airsoft Dudes on the 17th. You guys heard it here first. I'm going to put a post out on Discord by tomorrow for it. So looking for bodies on that one. Council of Airsoft Dudes is coming up. We're going to close out the year with that. Council of Airsoft Dudes being on the 17th. And as it gets closer to the holidays, I'm going to give you the holiday schedule as it comes out. And I figure we're probably I'm going to take some Yule time off. So probably the last couple weeks of the month, I'm not going to be doing any streams for holiday reasons. But I'll let you know as we get closer, guys. But until then, like I always say, never ever forget your battle cry. Nee.